Today we'll create a show-only command in CAD. Currently we have a great show-only command that's only available in the FEM or the SIM or the AFEM, where you can just show an object that you've selected and nothing else. Since we're going to be creating a custom button for this later, I'm going to capture a bitmap of our show-only command so that we can use that for a custom button that we'll create later. Now, if we want to run a show-only command in CAD, you can see there's no button here for it, but we can run a sequence of 3 commands that will do the same thing. First is show all, and here there's a hotkey for that, Control-Shift-U, which I'll be using later in the video as well. And then the second command is hide. And what we want to do, and hide also is a Control-B hotkey, we want to hide the object that we want to show only. And then we can do an invert shown and hidden, which has its own hotkey, Control-Shift-B. And I'll be using that later as well. So now you can see we're able to show only that one object. Now I've done a Control-Shift-U to show all, and because those 3 commands might be a little bit tedious after running them several times, we can create a macro that will run all 3 for us. So here we'll start recording a macro, and I'll do Control-Shift-U, that will be captured in the macro, and then I'll do Control-B, which will also be captured in the macro. And here, since we want to allow the user to enter what object to show only, we'll select user entry with instructions, and then we'll put in some instructions. And then we'll select an arbitrary object so that we can continue with our macro. And then I'll do a Control-Shift-B. That will also be captured by the macro. Now we'll stop recording our macro, and that saves it. So now if we want, and here let's first do a Control-Shift-U to show all. Let's go ahead and run that macro. We'll select playback, and we'll select the macro, and here you can see our user entry with instructions. We can select what we want to show only, and it does it. So now if we don't want to have to run that macro, what we can do is customize the user interface to create a button that runs that macro. So here on the view ribbon we'll create a new item, and this will be a new user command. Here we'll go ahead and right click on it, give it a name, show only. Then we'll also give it an icon. Here we'll select that bitmap that we saved earlier. And then lastly we'll edit the action. And here's where we want to specify the type as macro, and then we'll browse to the macro that we just saved. So now we have a button, just as we do in the AFEM, FEM, and SIM, in order to show only an object or objects.